Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. We are back with a new video of us reviewing the challenge season 40 Battle of the Eras. And we are coming right back from the elimination where we have Theo going home, Johnny winning, and we kind of get right into the fight that Michelle and Josh had from the previous episode where I understand both sides, but I feel Josh as well, actually, because Johnny's his friend.
But
So
to that point, Michelle says she doesn't have a problem with him being friends with Johnny. She has a problem, and Kyla says it too, with you have to understand the difference between friends and like alliances and allies. Like everybody that is your friend is not your ally. And when you're working with other people, that doesn't work. And it can't work because your friends doesn't benefit my game. So you can cheer for Johnny, but you're directly cheering against me too. So I feel like
yeah,
Michelle,
but then okay,
but also I
Michelle,
was Derek in this moment because you're burning by Tostita. Like, give me
like
my
give me
food.
he was like, give me the spatula. Like, let go.
He's like, you're burning.
Yes. So I understand, like he was cheering for both of them. It wasn't like he was actively only cheering for Johnny. He was cheering for Johnny and he was cheering for Theo. They both his friends. Like it's
But
just
that's the issue that everybody has with Josh. You can't cheer for both.
mm.
You just can't. You can't be like, oh, I'm cheering for both. Like, no, like the same thing that Johnny has a problem with Jordan doing. Like, you can't be a floater in this game. Like, you either
He
with me
said
or you're
Jordan is a
against me.
floater.
That's what Johnny says.
Jordan, how is Jordan the floater? I mean, he don't. I don't think Jordan's a floater. I mean, he don't have to say what's what. Like all I got to do is win. It don't matter. I don't. It's not floating. It's like I don't think it's floating. He don't really have to say what's what because he's not dependent on anybody to save him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
he was
don't think it's
saying
called
like
floating.
Tori in the last episode, he was saying like Tori and Jordan are floaters. And I'm like, no, they're seated in positions of power. Like
Like they're
everybody
leading the
else is
ship.
not like
Like
clear. Now,
yeah.
if you say a Corey, now I would be like, okay, that's a floater. Josh,
Yeah.
okay, that's a floater. Like those are floaters. But when you're in power, you're
Yeah.
not a floater. You're the one in the power. But
Yeah, I'm just not telling you who I'm aligned with because I don't have to.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
I don't have to tell you. That's the difference I would say between a floater and somebody who just I'm winning, so you'll figure it out when we get to the finish line, like type
Yeah.
of deal.
So we basically go straight into the daily challenge. Kara says that her back is against the wall and she loves that because that's where she thrives.
Mhm.
And um,
Because we have
yeah,
Cara, Michelle, and
and
Olivia that
Olivia.
are currently the targets. So one of them, for them not to all be sitting in the chamber, one of them will have to win the daily.
Yeah. Also, I think Kara said in the last episode where she was like, "Where is Kara?" Because I'm like, this is not the Kara that I know. Like, I don't know. Like when they was in the room, she was just sitting down in the corner and looking at pictures. Like, also, this episode gave me too much of people personal details about their hygiene in their bodies. Like, I don't care about your feet, your bunions, your cycles,
They were
your
talking about
your
that
hair
a lot.
dyes.
They
Like,
do
we
talk
didn't
about that a lot.
we didn't need to know that. But so this daily is called 40-yard dash. There's a giant 40 called into the dirt. With there are six puzzle pieces of in all kinds of obstacles. Players will race into the 40, gather the puzzle pieces as fast as they can, bring them back to their station, one piece at a time, then complete their puzzle. The first man and woman to complete their puzzle will win the challenge. Last place women will head straight into the arena. Last place men will be penalized for the next challenge.
Mm-mm.
And then also Michelle had a disadvantage, which was a 1 minute penalty. Um, yeah,
Yeah. This challenge, I mean, it was pretty straightforward. It was mostly like an endurance challenge. And
mm,
Michelle started at the same time as everybody, correct?
no, she was last.
I,
The
no, no,
the
no. I
women
mean,
started the 30 seconds after the women, the men started, and essentially a minute after everybody, Michelle started.
okay. I was about to say, unless they put I'm saying if they put the time penalty at the end, then you will know if you won or not.
Yeah.
Or lost or
But
not.
also, I feel like in this particular challenge, you don't necessarily need time penalties. Isn't what I would have been like, you need to grab another piece or something.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really matter in this instance when it's a puzzle.
Yeah, if you don't
Because
know the puzzle, you don't know the puzzle. Or if you can get
yeah,
the puzzle just like that, you got it. So yeah, I agree. You get
yeah.
another piece and have to fit that into the puzzle as well. But as soon as we get in the pit, almost immediately Aviv loses her shoe. I was like, how deep is this mud? And did they intentionally wet the mud?
I think so. Because how they were talking about how hot it is, yeah, that don't make sense that that mud is wet
I'm
if it's
assuming that maybe it melted. I don't know.
melted. Maybe when they was digging it up the night before, they had to put a little water in it so they can,
Yeah,
carve it up a little bit more. But also I wonder how permits work for that. Like y'all digging up a 40 in my country, like
probably just gotta put it back.
I'm weak. We'll just cover this up. They
I'm
don't
just
need to
saying they
know.
might just have to put it back.
They don't
But
need to know.
yeah,
But Jenny and Rachel decide to work together during this puzzle. Again, I guess that was smart, but at the same time, I don't think that really did anything for them.
well, I
Like,
mean, who knows? They could have stopped. Well, what did they exactly do to work together? They just took the same path.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like you can, everybody can jog right next to another person.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
like they were like actively picking. I don't know. I don't know how much it helped, but they said they were going to go a path that everybody else wasn't going, so that they would get to places faster. I don't know,
Yeah.
but we see. I mean, I think they did fairly good. They finished top percent of girls. Uh,
Third and fourth.
huh?
They finished third and fourth.
Yeah, yeah. So they finished top percent of girls. But as we saw with this challenge, like it was mostly endurance, but Cara came in first. Well, so Jordan gets back to his puzzle, and I think Jordan is fairly good at this. And I feel like if I was not a puzzle person, I wouldn't even attempt the puzzle until somebody that I know good at puzzles get there. Because if he plays a piece, I'll play something. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
they knock it down once they finish. But if I've been copying you the whole time, I already got it. He say check, check. Like
Exactly.
I feel
Yeah.
like that's what somebody should do if you think you don't know it. That's what I
Yeah.
would.
So Cara comes in first for the women, Olivia second, then Jenny, Rachel, Tori, Aviv, and once again Michelle is last place. For the men, Jordan comes in first, then Kylan, Josh, Bananas, Derek, and Corey. So Corey does get the penalization. But also Jordan said he didn't want to win, but for somebody who didn't want to win, he,
Mm.
he definitely won. I get that he said he didn't want to let
No, I
Kylan
think he
be like
say
a three-peat,
yeah.
but if you didn't want to make the decision to show your cards, even if I was the first one there, if I don't want to show my cards and let everybody like have this illusion that I'm working with them, I'm not about to win, especially if I'm gonna go show my cards. Like you're literally
Yeah,
doing what
Kylan,
you said you don't want to do.
he said I could still win a daily, but I don't think he is. Him winning didn't really show no cards. He didn't have to make no decisions,
That's what I'm
especially.
saying. But he said in one of his confessionals that if he were to win, he would have played a card that would have showed his hand, and then it would have upset people that they thought were like on his list or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I think
So
if
let's say,
he
for
had to,
example, he was planning on choosing Kara
yeah,
because she won. He doesn't have to make that decision. So it's like now I can keep pretending that me and Kara are allies
yeah. I'm
essentially.
about to say I think because Carr won, now he don't have to make a decision. But him winning, he would have had to make a decision if they would have had to go to the chamber. If he would have had to go to the chamber with anyone that wasn't a target.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. So what's her name? Michelle at the is what's it called? In the bottom is the last woman to finish, so she automatically going into elimination. So she's mad and sad when she gets back to the house because she is automatically also have to go against Olivia because she's the only other option out of the targets.
yeah. Before we get back to the house, we also have a bus ride where Michelle and Bananas get into a little tiff, and then Michelle makes a comment about Bananas and Aviv essentially playing footsie, saying that, can I again, a lot of feet this episode. Um, so she was like, yeah, can I put my feet in or whatever the case may be? And Bananas got upset, and it was she didn't have an issue with Aviv. Is Aviv married?
I don't know. Well,
But yeah,
might be.
like she said later, it was just basically a stray bullet that just so happened to, fall onto
She
Aviv.
was creating drama in the bus. She started that.
But Johnny also always
He
started.
continued it, but at that point, but
It's
if
cool
it
when
was
you do it, but when I do it, it's a
okay, I
problem.
understand, but I'm saying if it was the opposite way and nobody was talking to you, and then you automatically, and then Johnny said something, you'd be like, she would have been like, Johnny, why are you starting stuff? Blah 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 blah. And so, but this time she literally said that she was starting stuff.
Yeah, I mean, she knew she was doing. She said that she wanted to do it. It was just more so that Bananas was saying. Well, it was basically Bananas is trying to play the victim,
Well,
like that he
I
has
agree. They
no
both did the
part.
same. Yeah, he does it too, and she just did it too. So yes, I agree. If it was the opposite way, he probably would have said something too. But she only said something because she lost, and
I
she's salty.
mean,
No, she said that because she lost and she's salty.
it
She's
could
salty
be,
because she's
but
going in, so it don't burn no bridges for her to say something.
yeah. So now we're back at the house. Uh, Olivia and Michelle basically, talk about how they're besties for life, and they're like this, and we get to the bar, and then basically Cora and Cara have a conversation, saying that basically if Michelle says my name, you my number one, boo, just
Yeah,
like
I
that.
appreciate the fact that Corey's like was straightforward this time because he be beating around the bush
Well,
and
I feel like all of them this game has been like, even in the last couple of episodes, even like with Rachel, she's like, like I don't have a top four, but I'm okay with you being like my 3 and 4. And people are like,
yeah,
I'll take you in 3 or 4. Like,
appreciate him saying like because Cara said you're my number one. He could easily lied and say you're my number one, but he said, "Well, I got to make Michelle my number one." And so I
yeah.
was like, "Okay, Corey," because Corey usually say some stuff and but he was telling Cara, "But if Michelle betrayed me, it's me and you." And I like that Cara had this conversation, as people have said they appreciated it before. Johnny said he would appreciate if she had a conversation with him when she was on top. She had this conversation with Corey when she was on top. So it's not like I'm saying this for, I'm at the bottom, save me this time. No, it's
Yeah.
for future game. I'm telling you this for next week. Um, uh, you be my number one, which is good. Which I feel like the outlier people need to always band together. Corey, Tara. I mean, a lot of the outlier people have band together. Actually, that's how Johnny's Angels kind of came about because Rachel, Jenny were kind of outliers.
Yeah.
They came together, but that's what I think should always happen. Kara, Corey, but they've lost some people because they didn't do this at the beginning.
I will say, just to backtrack a little bit in the previous episodes, this season has not really done Jenny any favors, because
Mm.
especially with when Michelle was in the chamber and Jenny was just basically making it all about her. And she was like, y'all never did this for me. Y'all made my life basically a living hell. And like Michelle said, man, this is not the time to be airing your grievances. Like, all I'm saying is this is not how you started. But yeah, Jenny this season, I don't know. She hasn't really had a good showing, at least for me.
I feel neutral about Jen. I think she's played like a even game. Is not. I don't think it's bad, but it hasn't like been amazing. So
Well, she
I
get
feel
gassed out every 2 seconds. So
yeah, I feel neutral about Jenny. So we'll see what happens
um
if she makes it to the final.
she not. She gonna gas out. Basically, like we said, Michelle have a conversation with Aviv, basically saying that that wasn't about you. I was just upset with Johnny, and unfortunately, you were just kind of in the way. And Aviv
Oh,
does tell Michelle that you crossed the line and you didn't have to do that in like public. And they was like they apologized, and I do appreciate Aviv for not letting it fester and just be like, look here, girl. I get what you were doing. I get it's not personal, but that's not cute. That's not demure. That's not cute.
Also, we skipped it, but what's his name? Josh clearly says that he's on
Oh
banana
yeah.
at
He's a
the
Rachel's
yeah, he's part
angel.
of Rachel's Angels. Okay, so Josh has officially abandoned, I don't know what the Vacation
Vacation
Alliance.
Alliance. Yeah.
But mostly because he's mad at Michelle and the rest of them are not sticking up for him. So go, I mean, but
Again, it's not that they're not sticking up for him. It's just his gameplay is trash. You can't expect people to try to like play with you when you're playing with literally everybody. You're
I
playing with my
agree, but
enemies. How can you say you're my friend and you're literally playing with the ops? Like
I
you're
got
trying
you.
to set me up.
You trying to set me up. So yeah, I think that's the only other significant things that we get to the what am I trying to say? We get to elimination.
Yeah. Um so we get to elimination and it's called Stranded. There are two giant DNA strands in the middle of the arena, acting as ladders. Each player will have to build that out using different size rungs from the stations. There are 40 in total. Once the player reaches the top of the ladder, they'll release a bag full of letters, and the first person to put the three-letter word or three-word phrase together will win the elimination. The loser go home.
They originally did a really good job of making me think Olivia was gonna win. Like everybody was like, Olivia was in the lead, like at the beginning. Michelle was setting her stuff up and Olivia was doing. I was like, okay, Olivia about to take this. But
I
you know,
mean,
we see how that slipped.
yeah, I was about to say she could have won, but apparently she dyslexic, and yeah, that was
And she said
stopped her.
Michelle does these type of like word puzzles
Crosswords, yeah.
all the time. But even once Michelle won, Michelle wins the elimination. But even once Michelle wins, I felt like I don't know, I was getting the vibe that Michelle was about to quit and give it to Olivia. I was like, I
I
thought
thought
she
it,
was
I think I misread the word. Well, I definitely misread the word wrong. But when it said not eliminated tonight, I forgot that there was a T. So I was thinking there was like no elimination tonight. I thought it was about to be, they both be saved. But
no,
because they didn't like do, I don't know, maybe I always expect a loser to pop up because they did like the Michelle, the winner. But for some reason, they never said Olivia was eliminated until
yeah.
then. But again,
But
I wasn't really,
the way Michelle was talking, I thought she was like
I can't
gonna
do it.
concede
I
to
can't
Olivia.
do it.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
she was gonna be like Olivia deserves this more or something. That's what it seemed like she was saying. And I was like, what? I don't think those part of the rules. TJ probably gonna let both of y'all go home. But she didn't.
You
She
don't
did
want to be
not.
here? None of you will be here.
Yeah, but she
No
did.
elimination.
She stayed. Olivia goes home. And then as we thought, Michelle has to choose her targets. And the targets are Johnny, which we know, and then she says Josh, and then Corey. And so Cara look at Corey, Corey look at Cara, and they like, okay, we
We
solid
here.
now. And yeah, like you can't say nothing to Corey if he don't pick you. But I feel like, people just have such only think
Selective
about their
memory.
own game. And then if when he does pick Kara, hopefully he don't betray her. But if he does pick Kara for something that help Kara out, then Michelle probably be like, I'm your friend, blah 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 blah. I'll be like, girl, you remember when you put me in? They never remember the bad stuff they do. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So like we said, Michelle did win. She is now 3-0 in the arena this season. Essentially only her bananas at this point. Rachel and Corey have been the only four remaining in the house, and Tori. But those are the only four who have been in multiple eliminations. So
And Kylan.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
Kylan. I mean, he hasn't been since the beginning of the season, but at the beginning of the season, he was going in. And Kylan has done such a good job this season of getting himself an alliance and like being like a top person. Like this is what I always wanted for like Kellyanne.
mm-hmm.
Like Kellyanne come in like an underdog, and then she stay an underdog the whole game, and then they ban against her and kick her out. But Kylan came in with basically just Horacio, and he has
That's
been.
because they had to be in an error because they were in groups. They had to work together. So
Well, I
like,
know, I agree, but I feel like even if they was the errors, they find a way to kick Kellyanne out every season. I'm like, Kelly, no, Kellyanne. But yeah, he has become a top person in his alliance.
Well, you
And
don't have alliance.
he does. He's part of the vacation people.
No, he's a floater within the vacation. He's not a number.
When they did that chart to this
He was
episode,
there.
he was on
They
the
all
right
were
side. He was
there.
not, they did not have him in the middle.
They literally just picked. Josh was the only one in the middle.
But they clearly put him on the side. They didn't include Kara and they didn't include Corey.
They did
Because
include Cara. Cara and Corey were on the Vacation Alliance side.
no, they were. Oh, well,
Yes, they were. They literally.
maybe they were, but he is on a clear side. I think he has done a
That's
good job
because there's
integrating
only
himself
like
in that.
at this point in the house, there's literally only two sides, and I also hate alliances within alliances because like the ladies of leisure, like y'all are not an alliance, y'all just friends. Like alliance are people who are like the Young Bucks. That was alliance because they are a faction of the house that was going against other alliances. If you're not actively going against like the Vacation Alliance and the Banana Angels, you're not an alliance. You're just a group of friends.
Well, I think he has done a good job.
But no, he has done a good job though.
Yeah, but that's mostly because you have to be able to win as well to kind of
Yeah.
solidify yourself in that role. I think this is kind of the path that Jordan has taken. He came in as a rookie, very like super confident, and he could have easily been somebody that people targeted and turned against because they wanted to get him out like Horacio. But because Kylan has won so much, because Jordan won so much and was able to back up all that stuff, he
Well, it's a little different with Jordan. His trajectory with the challenge is different. Jordan came in knowing he was the best, and he let people know that I'm not afraid. Kylan was
exactly.
more so of
I mean, Kylan
this
is
just
not.
happened to me. It just so
Yeah,
happened I'm good at
yeah,
this game because
yeah.
I
Kylan is
studied
not
this game.
showy and like that, but he is good at everything, just like Jordan.
Because he studied the game. When you study the game, you can easily play the game. But I get what you're saying. What I was about to say, what I was about to say, what I was about to say. Also, I will say that this season has really, Tori was my girl, but that dark season, those 2 seasons where Tori was just unrecognizable. But this season has really brought me back to liking Tori, especially when she was talking to like Michelle and really just giving her like, look here, you can't come into these games, with the past. You only got to think about right now and what you're going to do tonight when you go to this elimination. And like I said, I just appreciate Tori.
But I think that's because Tori is about the game this season. The other seasons, it was a lot about Tori in the drama and all this stuff. This season, Tori is a competitor. She out here to win. And
Well, she
I
is
think
winning.
eventually,
She is winning.
yeah. And I think eventually when they do that Mount Rushmore in the future, they're gonna put Tori up there for sure.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. This episode was
Mhm.
a little lackluster.
Mhm.
uh, but yeah, so I do think that if I had to choose right now who would win, I still don't get why they call the season. I get why they started it as Battle of the Eras, but you can't call this season Battle of the Eras and have two different winners from two different eras being the champions.
Yeah, they need to finish it. I think they just realized I think they miscalculated with the fact that era one got eliminated like they did. I think that's kind of how it happened. So I don't feel like this was the original format.
Yeah, because like I said, I think originally it was supposed to be like the final 2-2-2 or something like that, or like the final 4 of each era going to the final, and then so that would have been like the final 8 going to the era, and then whatever 2 wins it all for that era. But yeah, because you can't have 3 and 4 and be like, oh, we're the champions of Battle of the Eras, but y'all on 2 different eras, like.
And when I was watching this episode, I was thinking, I wish they brought back daily prizes. Like when they
the Burger
announced,
King.
yeah, when they announced Jordan and Kara, I was like, they don't get nothing. They don't get no bike, no iPad, like something.
A little
So I would say,
$5,000 into your bank.
yeah, but I guess they like the prize fund is so big. Everything we gave them during them seasons is in that somewhere. But yeah.
But yeah, if I had to choose right now, I would say Tori and Jordan are primed to win with, I think, Kylan possibly coming in second.
Mm.
And I think that's the only guy.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, I can see that.
And maybe Corey, if Corey can maneuver some people out the way.
No.
At least get a second or third.
Yeah, I like Corey, but I don't see him beating Jordan or Kylan.
I think he probably beat Kylan.
You think so?
I
Okay.
think so. But we'll see when we get there, I guess.
Mm.
But let's get into our fantasy draft.
We ain't seen the fantasy draft in a long time, so I'm not looking forward to it. Well, I'm not looking forward to what my score is.
So the fantasy draft as
I'm
it
telling you, they've
stands.
all seen this season already.
I think he looked at spoilers, but
I believe so too.
in first place, once again, we have Team Say with only four of his players being gone, with Olivia being the new addition to that. So it's given rigged.
Mhm.
In second place, I'm barely holding on, but I'm still chugging along. For the first time, I only got two players left in this game, Tori and Michelle. And then we have you in third place with 1335 or 1361, and you have three players left, Kara, Kylan, and Corey.
I got three. Oh, I didn't see Corey right there.
I mean,
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see him at first.
but yeah, it's definitely giving Savon team is rigged.
Yeah, it's Rick. He definitely saw
He gonna
something.
have to start picking last. We got to pick our teams first, and he get the scraps because somebody looking at some cheat sheets.
Yes.
Talking about
But
we picked the same people. No.
yes, no. But that is our recap review of this week's episode of the Challenge 40. Please like and subscribe. Let us know what you thought of the episode, and we will see you on our next one. Peace.